your mind is okay. Off your mind, like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh.
Good afternoon to you, good morning to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làwọn tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Tell them Mayegun is live. I want to take you to Imo State. Just same way they have been using their media to hoodwink and deceive and lie to you in order to take side with murderers who are supposed to be protectors, who are supposed to protect the people, but using them as a pawn that could be disposed just anyhow. Share the broadcast.
Godfather is in, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun, Mayegun diary, ẹ fara balẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary, àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀.
They are killing innocent people, unarmed people. Nigerian soldiers are going into people's homes and they are burning down houses, properties, and they are doing all of this with impunity. In fact, the man that invited them, the man they gave $150 million to, which is about 8 billion or 9 billion naira of your money, to give them land in Imo State. The same man, Uzordinma, who brought about soldiers in the name of looking for IPOB, but sent them straight to Izombe, in Oguta local government area, of Imo State, a place he assigned for RUGA, what they call the rural grazing area. RUGA for the Fulani Herdsmen to settle down in Imo State. The people from Izombe and all these communities from these local government areas protested a while ago. And in return, they brought in the military to what? To come and crush them in order to resettle the Fulanis in their communities. In Nigeria of today, it is easier to blame IPOB now, especially when they make sure that the real things going on, the atrocities they are committing in Igbo land, which is sanctioned, right, is killing people in their hundreds. And this is not a joke. There are many people who have been declared missing. They are not dead, they are not alive, and they have not been seen because soldiers were brought down there to commit different atrocities in the name of going after the IPOB. I'm going to tell you a little bit this morning. The killings that is going on right now in Izombe right now, orchestrated by hopeless Uzordinma to give land to Fulani Herdsmen in that local government area, which is the real reason people protested. But that is not the reason. That is not the reason they are telling you they brought the soldiers. Today, their soldiers are hunting down every young person they see, not just young person, including old people. They have burned down over 100 houses. When they moved in, the first, you remember their what they call the Operation Golden Dawn. Golden Dawn is like the Python dance 1, Python dance 2, Python dance 3. All these Pythons that were dancing were the Fulani, repentant Fulani terrorists in Nigerian army that they took to Igbo land to go and start dancing. I have never seen a Python dance, and I believe that the only time Python actually dances is when it's crushing his food, probably an animal or human being. That is when you will see the Python, going after his prey and they're squeezing to stretch it. That means when he's about to kill. So they killed and killed 3 times. Then they changed the name to Golden Dawn. And that Golden Dawn is to hunt down those they considered as either political enemies or those they are actually done with and they really want to deal with. And that's exactly what is going on in Igbo land. But it's very convenient to say IPOB is behind it. And I'm going to take you a little bit back, just a little bit back. Years ago, I started Mayegun's Diary Political. We started from Mayegun's Diary. Later, they closed that down. I opened another one called Mayegun's Diary Live. They shut that down too. Then that brought us to the Mayegun's Diary Political. The foundation of what I do is to speak against the injustice, no matter who you are or wherever you come from. Because in my own dictionary, or let me say my own book, right? An injustice to one is an injustice to all. An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere, which means I can be a victim that I have not become a victim doesn't mean that I'm safe or immune. If I don't speak up, one day I will be a victim and there will be nobody to speak for me. That was 7 years ago. And that has earned me so many people who have found me kind of, uncompromising. And at the same time, it won me so many good and loyal friends like yourselves, many of you watching me right now. So it will be so unhuman for anyone to now cherry pick what is injustice or which of this is actually injustice to who and what justify any crime against anyone by whatever name they give to it, like cherry picking. That's what I don't do. So in the course of my advocacy and speaking up, right? Over the years, you have seen me spoke about the injustice against the Shiites, ferociously and then so sincerely, as many of you have found out. You have seen me spoke against the insecurity in so many of these northern states. Many of them I have never visited in my life. Many of them I will never visit in my life. Not because what was happening to them, Boko Haram, bandits, as they call them, Fulani killers and all these things, that I speak, I dedicate most of my time to educate you how complicit the government, those who claim to be your leaders, are in all of this. Spending my time doesn't mean that then Yorubaland was under attack. Yorubaland wasn't under any attack. But I realized that if Yorubas kept quiet, whatever was going on in northern Nigeria is going to get to you. And if you don't prepare, whether you are APC, PDP, Christian, Muslim, tall, whatever, rich, poor, you will be a victim of what was coming. I wasn't loud enough. They did it to the IPOB. They killed them right before our eyes. And people justified it. I spoke up because I knew one day, if I didn't, they were coming for the Yorubas too. They went for the people of Benue, killed them like it was nothing. Again, I was here. On the diary, you will see all of these clips that treated all these incidents as they happened. They did it to the revolution now. They did it to so many people until they did it again to the NSAS protesters. Then finally, it came home. They did it to us in Yorubaland. But because you have people who love to cherry pick, no, it's their fault. Don't blame. What do you want government to do? They should. No government would. What those excuses that they give to them? Cherry picking. I don't cherry pick. When I speak about the injustice that that affects everyone, even if you are not affected directly, and you don't care, I care because one day it will become my own turn too. And it continues until it got people to the point where they said, this is not working. The expose opened up so many things that gave people the insight into why everything is like that in Nigeria. People now know better. Yeah? And many are now demanding, give us a referendum. Let us decide if we still want to be part of Nigeria or not. What do you think made people asking to leave Nigeria, if not for injustice? When you ask this person, they will say, Igbos are not the only people marginalized in Nigeria. Say, okay, if Igbos are not the only people marginalized in Nigeria, Yorubas are not the only people marginalized in Nigeria, what is now holding back all of you that have been marginalized from speaking up? How then do you want to gang up and join those who want us to then blame the Igbos why they killed them for any excuse, any reason that some of you have justified already? Unknown gunmen. Repeatedly, we have put it into practice on this platform, on so many platforms, that some things don't make sense. When they tell you unknown gunmen, how then did unknown gunmen become IPOB gunmen or ESN gunmen? But logically, it doesn't make any sense. But in Nigerian way, it makes perfect sense. Somebody needed to be blamed. Now, unknown gunmen, they will come out and go to a police station and they will start attacking that police station for hours, right? And there will be no response from other police stations or other police posts or even the military posts around there. The said unknown gunmen will be gone. Then they will now bring their policemen into the civilian communities, yeah? And they will start hunting people, shooting people, whoever they can, just to bring them out and say, we have found the unknown gunmen. They are ESN members. And when the press begin to ask questions from these people, you start finding out that many of them were going on with their normal businesses and were just rounded up. As if to say some of you don't know about the raid, how the Nigerian police do their raiding, how the Nigerian military do their raiding, and how many of you have been caught up in many of their illegal raids and accused of a crime that you never committed. You can pretend, because if you use that context to reason with me, unknown gunmen will not make any sense to you. These are organized criminals, sponsored, by the government and the politicians of Igbo land, inside and outside Igbo land. And they know. Unknown gunmen went into federal prison in Owerri, the state's capital, and they broke into the prison. Listen, they broke into the prison from 12:30 a.m. in the morning to 5:30 in the morning. That's like they spent 5 hours. They broke into the prison. No prison guard was shot or killed or anything. All the prisoners were let go. But before they all left, around 4 a.m. in the morning, they started singing praise and worship. They said the unknown gunmen led them in praise and worship inside the prison. But here is the irony of it. For that 5 hours, there was no distress call from the prison. No single person could make a call from the prison and say, we are under attack for 5 hours. The police post from the prison is just about 5 minutes walk. The government office, where the governor lives, and they put all the security, is just about 5 minutes walk from the prison. The military base in Imo State, that is next to that prison, is just about 20 minutes drive from outside Owerri to that place. But for 5 hours, there was no response from anywhere. But days later, a few hours later, the police IG in Abuja said, oh, the prison in Owerri was attacked by IPOB with sophisticated weapons. 3 hours later, Uzordinma came out and he said, IPOB couldn't have carried such attack out. They couldn't have carried out such attack. It is a coordinated one. So if you believe that IPOB carried out the prison attack, then you will believe that IPOB is working with Uzordinma, because Uzordinma doesn't want to see them. But they are in his own, next to his, they are in his neighborhood for 5 hours. And Uzordinma was sleeping and snoring. And you believe that story. Unknown gunmen. But there is no unknown gunmen. Your government, you remember they started back then during the time of your parents. They called them those who killed Fela's mother, those who attacked Fela's shrine, those who attacked the civilians protesting in Yorubaland. You know the name they gave to them? Unknown soldiers. Unknown soldiers. They were never known. So if you have not learned from that, what do you call it? From that, and then you remember from the origin of unknown is from the same characters, these criminals, and they brought unknown gunmen. And I'll tell you something. The people of Imo State, in fact, the people of Biafra land, whenever they say they want to speak, for example, if they say we are going to sit at home next week, right? There will be no harassment, there will be no fight, there will be no anything, anywhere. People will comply on their own. But this is something so powerful that the Igbo governors, Igbo politicians, most of them, who knows that if these guys should have access to wield the power politically, they are done for. This sit-at-home message is so powerful that makes them so uncomfortable that the only way to criminalize it is to bring about their political options, their political criminals, and send them out to wreak havoc. When they wreak havoc, it is easier because people will hear them speak Igbo. They will hear them speak language, and they will be like, those guys sounded like. But what people will ask themselves is this: how convenient it is for the people that, when they say sit at home, normally it should be easier for security forces then to actually know those who are moving about, Abi. But within that time, your police, well, they said the police they also sit at home, right? So to discredit it, to let an average Igbo man or woman, especially those who are not living in Igbo land, you see, most of these Buhari Shukus, the Ungo Ziaris, the Unekaris you see on social media, these hotel lecturers, as they call them, right? Most of them don't live in Igboland. They don't live there. They live in Lagos, Abuja, and many of us, live outside the country. Do you understand that now? So, to them, to discredit it, they have to promote the violence that the politicians are sponsoring that doesn't logically make any sense, that the same police couldn't trace and track those who have the audacity with their cars to move about and commit arson during the sit-at-home. So you see how this mix up, makes you think, but IPOB said, if anybody go out, whatever they see, they should. What IPOB says is that, yes, if they say we are sitting at home tomorrow, right? It simply means if you have anything you want to do tomorrow, right? If you can do it today, it's up to you. But if you know that you can't and you still have to go out, they know that people will go out, of course, right? If you still have to go out tomorrow, please do. But whatever happened then with this with this government criminals roaming everywhere, please don't blame us all. Because we know the people we are dealing with. And if you are not wearing our shoes, you will never know how it ought. But if you don't live in Igboland, in Igboland as we speak, you probably will agree when they say IPOB force people. Ordinarily, people will come out and tell you, nobody forced us. We will sit anyway. But they will never, ever arrest those unknown gunmen in action. Have you ever heard where they arrest them in action before? Of course not. Look at what they did in Olu. In Olu, just like what they did in Obigbo, in Rivers State. In Olu, Oples Uzordinma knows that Olu area, there are strong, dedicated, loyal Biafrans and IPOB members there. So he decided to target the place for his own way of sending message and saying, you can give me the money. I will give you land to build RUGA in Imo State. I will attack the arts of IPOB in my state. I will run them out of town. Guess what? Doing that is actually not going after the IPOB or anybody. It is just going after innocent people in their homes where they are dragging people out in execution style. So many of them were what? They were kidnapped away. And he got his money. So this time around, what they are doing, where's that again? What they are doing in Izombe can be characterized as total ethnic cleansing for the same Fulanization agenda that has pitted so many ethnic nationalities in Nigeria against the center, where many are now asking, give us referendum. Yes, there are those who still want to be part of Nigeria. Of course. Yeah? But can you put a referendum on the ballot so that people can decide if they want to still be part? Let those who want to be part of it say yes. Let those who don't want to be part of Nigeria say no. If those who don't want to be part of Nigeria are more than those who want to be part of Nigeria, then let the majority have it. If those who want to stay in Nigeria are more than those who want to leave, then let the majority have it. But put the referendum on that, and don't go behind the door to now bribe politicians that you forced on people to take over their lands, ancestral lands, and gift them to invading Fulani terrorists. How do you really think that is going to work out? That is exactly what they are doing in Izombe. The story came out from the past few days now. They sent soldiers. They sent soldiers to Igboland. They call it Operation Golden Dawn, to hunt down the Biafrans who are giving any sympathy to IPOB or anything that has to do with IPOB. But what they didn't tell you was that it is actually a state of emergency declared on Igbo people in Igboland as we speak. So with the cooperation of few of your governors who are ready to play balls as we speak, a state of emergency declared. And because they know that if they have an election 1 million times, there is no possibility that the Biafrans, the Igbo people, would ever go along with Fulani Republic of Nigeria, ever. Majority of them won't ever go with Al-Qaeda People's Congress. They won't go with this all promises cancelled. They won't go with this another problem coming. APC, Egbekebe, they won't want to go with them. And if they don't go with them, how do you think they are going to get the land for their people? Because they believe that they have caged Nnamdi Kanu, they have caged everyone that could speak up. Therefore, who are you to stop them? So they brought in their soldiers. Hopeless Uzordinma allocated land after collecting 8 billion naira from Buhari's government for what they described as national livestock whatever project. Just allocate land. And hopeless Uzordinma went to Izombe, that is Oguta local government area of Imo State. As we speak, many people have been killed. Now, when he went there, people heard this, they heard the gist that hopeless Uzordinma was going to allocate thousands of acres of land for the Fulani terrorists ransacking Imo State, ransacking Ebonyi State, ransacking Enugu and all these places in Biafra land as we speak. So they protested. The communities came together and they protested. We don't want Fulani settlers in our community. We don't have land for them. Remember that they call them dot in a circle, which means that they are so small. But even as they mentally believe that Biafrans are smaller, the Igbo people are smaller, right? Yeah, they still want to cut whatever they can cut from their land to own everything, just like us in Yorubaland. And the people protested, which is normal. Please don't bring them here. Don't do this to us. 2 weeks after that, Operation Golden Dawn landed in Biafra land. As they were arresting people wearing the Biafran paraphernalia, whatever in Igbo, in Anambra, they are shooting at young people in Abia. And then there in Enugu, same thing, harassing and arresting everyone they see or cited or kind of feel like is a sympathizer of IPOB. But in Imo State, it was a killing spree. We don't know the numbers of people killed yet, but we have the evidence of the Nigerian military killing them. And they are also bragging about it. What happened? When their soldiers landed in Imo State and they moved straight to Izombe, yeah, they started shooting sporadically like everywhere. 2 people got shot and killed. In anger, the youth of the community grouped themselves and they moved again against the soldiers. The soldiers ran away. The youth burned down the vehicle of the soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty much like kill them all, and exactly what a soldier said. Let me see if I can share this video with you. I want to pretty much say it comes with a graphic warning, and I want you to please be ready for it. Let's see if I can get up. So they killed, and in fact, it was like now we can tell who are the people being sent to Igbo land to commit all these killings, right? Let me see if I can get this back up.
That's Sergeant now.
Now that's Sergeant be this.
I don't know if you heard the audio. Did you hear the audio? Those are the killer soldiers they sent to Igbo land all over the world. Military help civilians during crisis. They don't shoot at people who don't shoot at them. And I think that's a military code. If you are a responsible military officer, you are not trained to shoot at somebody who is not armed. And listen, I heard that lately, the new war rule is that people throwing throwing projectiles like stones and everything, bottle as soldiers can be shot at because they are considered as weapons. Okay, so if you are protesting now, yeah, and you are throwing stones at the police here in the UK, they consider that as weapons and they can shoot at you. But guess what? They know you are not carrying weapons. Okay, so that weapon that you are throwing can hurt and, in fact, injure another officer who is also human, right? All over the world, right? So what they do is that if it gets to that stage, they will bring in another squad that are going to be firing rubber bullets. Rubber bullets are not to kill you. Okay? They are not fatal, all right? But in Nigeria military are trained to kill, shoot and kill. And guess what? The Nigerians, through the years of military rule, they have been conditioned. They have been psychologically damaged to believe that military brutality, police brutality are the response of your own indiscipline. Do you understand that now? No matter how old you are or how young you are, Nigerians believe that for a military officer to slap you, for a military officer to beat you up, you must have been so indisciplined, because in the military, they have discipline. Discipline, and military can't take any bullshit. That is psychological conditioning that they have built many of you with. PTSD. That if to say Nigeria was a country, many of you should be going through psychological, evaluation, psychological reprogramming. But again, in Nigeria, their military are trained. That's what they believe, to kill. So when you bomb military vehicle, the result is to be shot and killed. If you bomb a military vehicle in the UK, yeah, they will not shoot and kill you. If you are holding a weapon and shooting back at them, they will shoot to kill you. If you are holding a knife and charging at the police officers or the military officers in the UK, they will shoot and kill you, because all those conditions are called self-defense. It is not an attack. It is the last resort. Some will actually disarm you without having to kill you. They'll shoot you and immobilize you. They will just demobilize you, something like that. But in Nigeria, if you collect a soldier's girlfriend, it can beat up your mother, beat up your father, beat up your entire family, and they will then, all of you will still go and beg and say, "We are sorry, sir. We are sorry, sir. It is our son, very useless son." And the soldier will now become a moral preacher. The soldier will now say, all of you parents, you should train your children to behave well. So if you have money and you want to discipline anybody in Nigeria, just go and hire a soldier. They will beat the person up. And because Nigeria is a country where there is no punishment for crime like that, in fact, there is always a reward for it. Okay? So they went to this place. They were looking for who exactly? The people that said they don't want to give their land to Fulani terrorists. Of course, if they told you that they were sending soldiers to the people who don't want to give their land, you are going to defend the people. You are going to support the people and say, of course, now why would you want to take their land, Abi? But that won't sell. So if now they've told you that the soldiers are fighting IPOB in Imo State, how does that sound? Now this IPOB, now them they cause wahala for the East. They are the ones who are always causing all of this, unknown gunmen, all this nonsense. If they want to break away, is it by violence? Is it by this? How does that make you sound? The other day I said that some of you who are the Buhari idiots, you are beyond redeemable, and your stupidity is genetic or something like that. And well, in fact, genetic and then hereditary as well. And then somebody said, Mayegun, I am not in support. I read the comment, by the way. Maybe the person is watching me. I read your comment where you said, Mayegun, it is very, very uncalled for to call your viewers stupid, to call your viewers foolish, simply because they don't agree on the same thing with you. And I was like, Oje, stop disguising. Weary, just stop disguising. That's the way they say, weary, stop disguising. Okay? When I speak, everybody knows where they belong. Even if I don't mention your name, you know where you belong. So if I call you stupid, being a Buhari idiot, who goes about and say, well, the reason why they are killing people and they have burnt over 100 houses in Izombe right now, that we don't know the numbers of people killed yet. Many people have been displaced. They will be refugees. Many of them will have to leave the community as in completely. Yeah. So if you now come out and you say, no, I believe that it was IPOB that did it, and I call you stupid, is that wrong? Is that wrong? Is that not even being generous? Isn't it a stupidity for you to actually believe that lie so much? Yeah. With no evidence. And I just gave you one now. But you still want to believe the one that said it was IPOB that is making them to kill people in Izombe as we speak. So if I call you stupid, am I not being too generous to you? So Lori Buruku like yourself and many like you who actually believe some of those trash these guys are giving to you with nothing to back it up, nothing to back it up, no substance. They moved from profiling Igbos to now saying, no, we are not profiling Igbos, we are profiling IPOB. But guess what? When their soldiers goes on that street, say, kill anybody, kill anybody. Listen to this again. Kill anybody, kill anybody. The reason why I want you to listen to it again is that I want you to please pay attention to the voice, all right? And tell me, these people they deploy to that place to shoot and kill.
That's Sergeant now.
Now that's how be this.
Where? Anybody see kill? Anybody see kill? Anybody see kill?
Anybody see kill? Anybody see kill? Did you hear that voice? They were deliberately. They are repentant terrorists that they have been releasing all this while. They have put uniform on them now. And they will mix all of them, mix and match. Their job is not, when they send military somewhere, is it not to provide peace? Peace. Do you see those civilians they shot and killed? Did you see them with guns or anything? Those are the community members, the youth. They were protesting. Soldiers should not come to our community. In the next couple of weeks, they are going to begin to erect buildings in Izombe for Fulani settlers. Now, the point is this. An injustice like this, how does that? Okay, an injustice where indigenous people are chased away from their communities using government muzzle and military weapons, right? Death and all of these things going on, using that to chase people out of their communities. And you bring other people to come and settle in that community. People who have no affiliation with anyone in that community, anywhere around there. How does that then bring them to peace? That would then make Nigeria to become peaceful in the future. That's a question, no? How? So if I tell you that, if they tell you that those who are outside Nigeria are the ones who are creating problem, one weary, I don't know if he is watching too. There was this one weary that said, you this man, he was referring to me. You this man, you sit abroad and you are trying to brainwash us to fight for our rights with this government. You are enemy of progress. You are enemy of Nigeria. You are enemy of the people. People, you should be arrested. Well, what they did to Nnamdi Kanu, they have to do it to you. Wait. Alaye, slow down. I am brainwashing you to fight for your rights. And because I'm doing that, I am the enemy of your progress. I mean, no be juju be that. 70-year-old man, because I check his profile. Old man. 70 years old man. Blame me for brainwashing him to fight for his rights. But guess what? Something happened to someone very close to me. I am not in Nigeria. But you can tell, I can tell you what is happening next in your next street, the street next to yours. Any moment from now, even before you know about it. You know why? Because I have a lot of people in Nigeria too. And one of them was actually kidnapped while I'm still pretty much attending rallies, doing my program, continue to still put up, this same posture. Everything is all right. A very, very close family member was kidnapped by Fulani terrorists. He was not going to Benue. He wasn't going through Kogi. His car was not anywhere on the way to Zamfara, Niger. As I was coming here to give you updates, when I finish what I'm doing, I get back on to say, I hope I won't come back here to tell you that they have just killed a relative of mine that was kidnapped by Fulani terrorists while he was traveling through Ogere Remo in the Shagamu area, traveling through Ogere, and they kidnapped him. From there, they made him trek from that place straight down to Ibadan, right? And also from Ibadan back to Shagamu, then back to Ibadan on multiple times. And that was when he believed that he was never going to be seen again. Until 3 days ago. 2 days prior to their release, they made a request. They made a request for 30 million naira in Yorubaland. My family member. Where are we going to see 30 million? Who are we going to sell? What are we going to sell to get 30 million? What I've been talking about for more than 4 years finally came home to me, Mayegun. 30 million naira. I didn't even come here to say, please, my friends, I need to raise 30 million naira because I won't even give money to kidnappers. I won't even dream of it. But he came home. He came home. Everyone started running helter-skelter, helter-skelter. 2 days before, they were finally given some money. His car was found in Ogere. And I'll tell you this story too. Fulani, he was traveling. Fulani kidnappers, they shot and shot and shot at him and he stopped. And they grabbed him. They dragged him into the forest. A Yoruba man, a Remo man, a Yoruba man, who saw it happen, was like, he just jumped into the car and he drove the car to Owode Oniri in Lagos. And he told them he wanted to sell it as scrap. But those ones now saw bullet holes on the body of the car. So nobody wanted to buy Wahala. So they didn't buy the car from him. Then he decided to start using the car. I'm talking about something that happened within 4 days. 4 days. He decided to start using the car himself. Yeah. Now, he now drove back to Ogere, where the incident happened. And he drove straight to the house of his baby mama. He gave somebody, somebody was pregnant for him or is pregnant for him that he rejected. But he had a car, he had a car now. So he decided to go there and he parked the car in the front of the baby mama's house. But before he did that, he took the car to his own house first. And they performed the normal ritual blessing, like we call it in Yoruba. That means that motto, the car will not have accident. He will drive the car for long. They blessed him. They prayed for him. His life will use the car for long. None of them noticed the bullet holes. Or maybe they did, but they just ignored. He did not go back there and report that he just witnessed somebody kidnapped now. And they've dragged him into the forest. He didn't do that. He saw it as an opportunity. I was like, hey, I'll just grab my own. Until people now reported to the police that there is a car with bullet holes parked in this place. Shouldn't you people come and look at it? When they got into the car, the mobile phone, his phones, that is this is my brother's phone, right? He had two phones. When they grabbed him, it was with one phone in his pocket, another phone in the pigeonhole in the car. This guy took the phone, and sold the phone. As we speak right now, that was how the first thing we found was the car. 2 days later, they decided to say, okay, we'll give you 3 million naira. So they collected over 3 million at the end of the day anyway. Now, this is the twist. Another brother who was the one that was going there to go and hand over the ransom, the 3 million naira ransom. When they got there, they told the driver to go and leave him behind. And they said they are keeping them both. In fact, they are going to kill them both. It was a terrible trauma. This happened to me. So I can tell you the story. And some of you have read the story, by the way. Youth Council Chairman Odo Bolu local government kidnapped by Fulani terrorists. Yes, they were Fulani terrorists. And they gave some information. And I'm going to share that with you now. In the course of the time he was with them, as they were stabbing them, they will use his phone to call the family. And they will be stabbing this. He said they have AK-47 gun with knife at the tail end of it. You know all those guns that they always have knives. I don't know what they call them, right? So they will use the gun like they want to shoot them. They will do like this. So they were stabbing them all over their body, stabbing them. And whenever they are stabbing them, they will put them on the phone. And the family will be hearing it. Please give them the money. Don't let them, trauma. So finally, as we are in Odogbolu, we were able to get them back, not killed. And he said, Baba, Nigeria to finish. That these guys, they have the map of the entire Yorubaland, entire southern Nigeria on their hand. Entire. The map that you don't have. All the route, everywhere they can pass. That nobody will see them. And they said they are just watching all of you. That's what they said. They said, we are just watching all of you. Making your mouth. All your people making your mouth, making all of this. That they know every goddamn route in that Yorubaland. He said he walked from Ogere. Imagine walking from Ogere to the border with Osun, across Ibadan, past Ibadan, to almost Osun, and walk back in the middle of the night. He said, Baba, they did not enter anywhere. We will enter some. He said, Baba, I realized that many villages in Yorubaland are now deserted. There are no people living there anymore, Baba. Said there are people, no people there, that they will pass through some villages. Nobody did there, and people have run away, but nobody is reporting them. Thank God, though, I didn't believe that I'm going to make it. No. I got to a point that we were like, they're going to kill us anyway. So what's the point? I know my family cannot raise that 30 million, so forget it. They're going to kill us. And somehow they are like, you know what? Just come and get them at such a time. And they drop them where they pick them up in the middle of the night. Now, I decided to let you hear this because some of you are going to hear you are going to have this kind of experiences. And not many of us will be that lucky. I said, I hope a day will come that I want to use you as an example of those who believe that telling you what is going on in Nigeria is actually a means of hurting you. Nigeria is hurting you terribly bad. You may not have the ball to hold up. But when you become a victim, yeah, you are going to speak up too. It's just that when that time comes, the same treatment they are meting at people now awaits you too. So what do you think will now speak for you? If you consider those who are telling you what is going on and why people who are asking that they don't want to be part of this arrangement anymore shouldn't be killed, there should be an open conversation where, number one, all these injustices will be addressed. Give something. But they won't. And as we speak today, the killings in Izombe is ongoing. They are reporting it as something else to you. And you are swallowing that as, what have you? The same money was paid to Devulumai of Ebonyi. His own share, the money they gave him, according to the report, is almost the same amount, 9 billion naira, to give them part of Ebonyi. And maybe they can even consider him for something good when he finishes as governor. And all these guys are out there misyanning, saying things, setting things up, and funding all this insecurity, because that's what makes them pretty much still relevant. And as Buhari always wanted violence anyway, it's about violence. So if you give him violence, it will give you money. And then when you give violence on your own people, right? Just know that it's going to backfire, it's going to boomerang. And I want to tell you this, right? Just like those who are now in Lagos, Anambra election is next month, I believe, November. But guess what? They have turned Anambra State into a war zone. Okay, APC, they put together a campaign team, and guess those who are in the campaign team? Almost all of the Fulani governors from northern Nigeria, they are members of the campaign team. Malamu, the Attorney General, is member of the campaign team. What do you call it? All these Diamula from everywhere, they are part of the campaign team. Now, their military and everything are drafted into their campaign team, all because of Anambra State, yeah? And to grab it, they want Andy Uba as the next governor so that they can have easy access like Imo State, which is never going to be easy. Easy access to land for the RUGA in the future. However, they are now facing those ones who believe that they are grounded, they are home base. The Igbo support them. Our people will defend us. I'm talking about APGA, Ojuku's party, that betrayed all things that Ojuku stands for. Today, led by Obiano, their own governor there, right? So the people who declared war on Anambra, you know one thing, they want to blame IPOB too for it. In fact, they are blaming IPOB too for it. But guess what? They brought military in to the areas they believe that you know, the APGA are fighting back. And when you hear about these clashes, that person killed or that person targeted, just trust me, it is all about their politics of how they plan to take over Anambra. They want to use their military and everything that will take for them to take Anambra. APGA want to rely on the people's sentiments and their emotion to please give them another chance so that they can claim that, oh, if you give us this chance, we will defend Biafra, we will fight for Biafra, like Ojukwu and the rest, blah, 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 blah. So they want to use the people as the human shield. I'm talking about APGA now. But it won't make any sense if they told you that the clashes in Anambra is about APGA, APC. PDP guy even like stopped campaigning. That one even said, I'm going to stop campaigning in respect to people killed and people being killed in Igbo land, as we were told. But they are still killing them. So if they told you that it was between them, killing themselves, targeting themselves, political assassination and the rest of that, would you be comfortable with that? If they don't have the IPOB to it? If they don't have unknown gunmen to it? But guess what? They know themselves. When they asked Anambra governor, part of the plan was actually to declare a state of emergency in Anambra. For some reason, the governor won't take that. Okay, so their governor was like, why would you declare a state of emergency in Anambra? Because of election. And you don't declare a state of emergency in Niger State, where over 500 communities are now being controlled by Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists. Nigerian flag, Nigerian government no longer exists there. You didn't declare a state of emergency there. What about Zamfara? Zamfara, that they kill people like they just, it's just like nothing. Where bandits are being pardoned, forgiven, and then recaptured, and all those things. You didn't declare state of emergency there. What about Kaduna? Where they kill like, man, why didn't you declare state of emergency there? You want to declare state of emergency in Anambra so that, you know what I mean, that you can then bring your Andy Uba and the rest of that. But again, since IPOB said, we are not going to play the emotional card of APGA. So if you look at them very well, PDP and APGA in Anambra State, none of them is actually speaking up for anything that is going on right now against the IPOB. But they need them as human shield. They need them to help them stop the invasion of APC so that they cannot finally probably feel like they've lost their manhood. Something that makes them feel like they are still Igbos, right? Once APC comes in, they would have lost everything. That's what they believe. Meanwhile, right now, they've given everything to the same APC in disguise. So they need you emotionally. Oh, if you don't vote, APC is just going to be in this state. The same state that Obaino is paying 500,000 naira if Fulani terrorists kill you. If you die in Anambra, if a Fulani terrorist kill you in Anambra because of cow, they'll give your family 500,000 naira. Is that one because of IPOB? Did IPOB tell him to make such deal? Of course not. But they have to emotionally blackmail you, as if to say they need you as a shield. When their soldiers come shooting at you at the polling unit, when their thugs come shooting at you and you die, at least if some of you at least come out, maybe you can help them pull the surprise so that APGA can still be there, or even PDP can be there. Something that will make them feel like, oh, we rejected the APC. It's up to you. People will do what they will do anyway, which is what they always do. They always do what they want to do. So don't let them use you for that. The criminals who are born in Anambra, the criminals who are killing themselves in Anambra, killing the people in Anambra, they no longer campaign in Anambra. They are now in Lagos, campaigning to be governor of Anambra in Lagos. You know what I'm talking about? That is part of what I'm saying. If you think this is going to just go away by collaborating with this murderous military in Nigeria to kill your people, like some of our Yoruba political criminals are also going to still do, trust me, it's not going to go away. At the end of the day, right, when everything do boom, some of you will be the ones to eventually run away. You won't be able to stay back when the people finally found the grip to grab you. I'm so happy when the Abia State Governor Ikpeazu came out and he said, listen, guys, we cannot continue to join them to condemn Nnamdi Kanu. He's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. And we should stand up for him. We should fight for him. We should get him released. That's common sense. Ikpeazu is not somebody that many IPOB people like. But guess what? It doesn't really matter if you mean it or not. In fact, I want to believe that I mean it for the level of what things are now, where everybody is seeing the reality that in the next couple of years, they will not have that privilege of getting protected by this Fulani police, Fulani military, and the rest of them. They will become like me and you, that will have to what? Watch their back as they drive about. So he said, listen, we cannot just continue to let them hold Nnamdi Kanu. Ekweremadu came out. Ekweremadu was one of those who arranged the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when the caucus at the time nominated Abaribe, the Eastern lawmakers at the time, who agreed that they would stand shorty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and others, and nominated Abaribe to lead it. Despite all of that, people still beat Ekweremadu up in Germany when he left New Year Yam Festival in Yorubaland and flew to Germany to go and chop yam. People beat him up. But Ekweremadu just came out recently too. I said, we are working on the ground to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is released unconditionally. They know it is coming home too. So for those who are still grandstanding, give them a little time. But for those, I remember recently, not long ago, I suggested that those who are the Biafra intellectuals, I'm talking about those brain behind this whole struggle who have done greatly, by the way, if they would do us a great, honor by opening up a website where everyone who has been a victim of this Nigerian brutality against the Biafrans in Biafra land, even outside Biafra land, they can upload the profile of their family members, either missing or killed by this criminal, and add a short story of what happened so that people can have documented evidence of all these atrocities. So I remember recently, I think it was Simon Ekpa, who said that they have opened up a website where you can see the victims of Nigerian brutality in Igbo land. No matter what they tell you, no matter the lies they put out there, you see, every day they kill innocent people who have dreams, young, old, young people like many of us, who had dreams too. They wanted to be this, they wanted to be that, but Nigeria happened to them and they were killed. And like everyone else, they were made statistics. 3 people killed, 30 people killed. On the day they tried to kill Nnamdi Kanu in his home, at his home, in that same Biafra land, right? They killed 28 youth, 28 human beings were killed on that day. And Nnamdi Kanu was supposed to be killed that day too, but he managed to escape them. Same way they went to Oluye Sunday Igboho's house, yeah? He was supposed to be killed. That day they tried to kill him. They killed 2 other people in that same house too. So we say, please, if Simon has done something like that, that is something that we should always make sure that they share that with all the media houses. I know they pick things up from you guys all the time. Let us see the victims, you who have been victims of all these brutalities, your family, everyone, yeah? Go on to such websites, yeah, and upload their pictures and put their story there. You see, the world is watching, and documenting everything they are doing right now is the ideal thing to do. And I'm going to do the same thing for us in Yorubaland too, because you see, everything they are doing right now in Eastern Nigeria, they're going to do that as well in Yorubaland. They've started. It's just that they are going to make it look like it's nothing yet if you are not yet a victim. Now, it is 100% guaranteed that nobody is safe. So, when they come for us with their soldiers, either through brutalization, assault, or even death, we will never forget them. We will let the world remember their names. They are not just 36 people. They are not just 40 people. They are not just 500 people. They are human beings who had hope and dream like me and you. That Nigeria is killing them today. just to justify one Nigeria, and deny the conversation that could possibly address all these differences without any kind of spillage of blood. As Nigeria continue to do this, then we should all remember to always remember them. And social media, internet has done us a great deal of favor. It never forgets anything. So I'm saying this now, for those who have access to such a website, you should share that publicly. Let the whole world know the victims of Buhari's brutality in Igboland, the victims of Fulani terrorists in Igboland, the victims of Igbo politicians against the Igbos in Igboland, the crimes of their collaborators from outside, you know what I mean, outside Igboland, perpetrating these criminalities. You should please, let's document them for the sake of posterity. And that is where I'm going to draw my curtains today. Remember this. Those who are the survivors of yesterday, they are the victims of today. Many of you are the survivors of today. You are going to be the victims of tomorrow. Now, it has become turn by turn Nigeria Limited, wait to die, or speak up, team up, and resist. When I say this, it is for your sake, it is for my sake. And if you do nothing, your children too will fight this fight. Then they may not even have the kind of a courage, that you have to be so quiet. They will be impatient and they will be much calamitous. You can still do your part by resisting in campaigning for something that you can't really control. An injustice anywhere can never bring orderliness anywhere. I'm saying this because Nigeria is a typical example. What they are doing in Izombe, in the Imo state, is genocide, state-sponsored killings. These are not in any way legal. So if people commit crimes, what you do is that you arrest them, you prosecute them for their crime. If you think burning down a a military vehicle is a crime, how about you arrest them than kill anybody, kill anyone, kill everyone, kill. Go and kill. That is what Nigeria is. So you better join others to break up Nigeria before Nigeria break you. Kill Nigeria before Nigeria kill you. Break it up to save lives, your lives. If you don't value it, fine. Enjoy. And I hope you enjoy it for long enough. And if you are one of those prayer warriors, Nigeria will succeed, Nigeria will succeed. No country succeed killing our own citizens. No country succeed killing our citizens. Nigeria won't succeed as many of you consider yourselves as enemies. Instead of, calling yourselves, instead of calling yourself people who disagrees. So Nigeria is built to be you suspect yourself, everybody suspect each other. Hausa suspect Yoruba suspect Igbo suspect Fulani suspect Tifi people suspect Ijo suspect Nupe suspect Shekiri suspect the better, and on like that. And why? Then do you want to continue to lie to yourselves to make yourselves believe that you have a one country when you should be telling yourselves that you have many countries? Now, to have a one country, there must be a conversation. No matter how dobale your brain is, how flat your brain is, how imbecilic you are, listen to me. For you to be able to listen to me to this level means that you have the capacity to reason, right? And if you can reason it very well, only a madman will do the same thing again and again and expect a different result. If you are kind of think it now, right? You have many Nigerians. How can you claim to be one when you never had a conversation that says, I will respect this, you will respect that, I will respect this. If you cross that, there will be problem. There was never any agreement. This is what we are asking to have. The old warlock, the old rogues and criminals who lived all their lives on their free food, free house, free clothes, free travel, free medical, free everything, including free women. People who have no value for life, have no value for women. People who are so comfortable watching women being kidnapped and raped, children being kidnapped and raped and sent into the sex slavery with the Taliban and the jihadists. Those old warlocks who will never have a chat on how can we get this to work? How can we help this generation? How can we help the generation coming? These old APGA criminals continue to plunge you into a perpetuity of debt, perpetuity of indebtedness, something that will never make you grow. I mean, they don't want to have a chat about all the differences. They said, if an Igbo man has a difference with you, please remember this, he is your enemy. How does that make him your enemy? If a Yoruba man has a disagreement with you, listen to me, he must be your enemy to disagree with you. How can disagreement be an enemy? Yet, you want to call yourself one country. It doesn't work that way. The criminals who put together this whole charade, the criminals who put together this whole charm, they are already fading away. They are already expiring. But the venom, the divisiveness, the lies, the manipulation, the old fraud, I mean, the venom, they've spitted them into the mouth of this young generation that makes even the future of Nigeria more scarier than it is now. Because people believed, listen, you see those who are waiting to take over Nigeria and do worse to you, they are in fact more than those who are treating your effort right now. And that is scary. That shouldn't make you have any hope of something getting better without that conversation. Have a conversation. Does the Igbo people want Fulanis to have RUGA on their land? They should be able to have the right to say yes or no. Does the Yoruba people want the Fulani from Niger, from Mali, from Chad, from everywhere to have the map of all the Yorubaland, and yet Yorubas cannot form their own security forces to fight and combat them? And then Yorubas will have no say in that, no conversation about it, just stick to it. Nigeria is non-negotiable. How does that make you feel? So if you are among those who are waiting to take their turn, if you are among those who are waiting to become the next thieves, if you are waiting to become the next dictator, the next ruler, the next this or that, listen to me. Under your hope, you can't give us hope. That is not hope for the entirety of the people. It is the hope for you mindless criminals who are waiting your own turn. That's your hope. Shouldn't be my hope. The hope of poverty, selfishness, greed, laziness. That hope that some of you have can be the hope of all. Let people decide what they want. That should be what the leaders should be talking about. It is not about the next election. It should have been about the next generation. And if this generation of old fading criminals, if they care, then they will give the opportunity for that chat, for that conversation to start first before people will then decide if they want to vote for a president in Nigeria or they would rather be voting for a prime minister in Biafra Republic. To decide if they want to have a bicameral legislature or if they just want to keep a unilateral legislature that will make public office pretty much a part-time job for anybody interested in Yorubaland. Let them decide. Why are they afraid? That should be what should worry you. Why are they afraid to have that chat? I'm going to see you some other time. And I hope you will join me later tonight if you have the time. The killings going on in Igbo land should be documented. We shouldn't just complain about them. We shouldn't just stop where we are now. We should document them. Those lives matter. Igbo lives matter. Biafran lives matter. Oduduwa life matter. Hausa life matter. Fulani life matter. Ibibio life matter. Every normal human being who is going about their legitimate business life matter. But when you begin to take it on others or trample on others' freedom or rights, that means you don't care if their lives matter. So in Nigeria today, of over 250 ethnic nationalities, the Fulanis who are now reigning supreme, not because of the great exploit of adventure or development they are bringing to every nationality in that country, but because of the agony, the death, the bloodbath, the cries that they bring to the rest of the nationalities in Nigeria. This is unacceptable. And that is why we say every life should matter, especially every life that doesn't really take any other life. And Nigeria doesn't value that life. So defend or stand for something that you can tell your children, I stood for something right. And I will die for it. The freedom that you have, which makes you a freeborn. I'll see you some other time. Stay safe and join me later.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.